might have noticed, as obviously I'm not playing a particularly old game, it's only a few years old, and we're going to be talking a little bit differently about nostalgia tonight because Fallout 4 has a lot of very interesting things. It is a really good game. It's the first Fallout game that I played, and uh, I really like a lot of things about it. It has some things that need improvement, and we'll get to those in turn. But there is a lot that is actually really good about the game, and a lot of commentary that the game has. And I think when we think about nostalgia and just what that is, what that emotion is that we're tapping into, what we're doing when we let ourselves relish in it, um, I think Fallout 4 gives us some really interesting pictures into that and into just what's happening. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And we're also going to talk about some game theory here as well, because there is a lot of interesting stuff, some of which is kind of followed up on and some that's not. And I want to talk about that too. So I'm going to be doing something a little bit different here. Um, we're going to do just a little bit here with Nate, and then I'm going to switch over to Nora because there is a particular scene that I want to talk about because there's some implications that never get followed up on when we talk to Codsworth later. But I actually want to organically go through that. So let's get started. Um, Here we go. I've got everything up and running. Perfect. And I have my controller. Yes. I cannot tell you how happy I am to have this thing. All right, so first we're going to do the tiniest bit of walkthrough with Nate. I just have to get through this stupid thing with the Vault-Tec rep. Um, what I actually care about is getting to the conversation you have with Nora. So, um, hi, hun.
Grognak the Barbarian in the Jungle of the Bat Babies. My
My
favorite.
Nora is a goth chick. I'm just going to tell you now. Uh, you're probably surprised by this fact. I know it's very shocking.
Ah,
Please
sounds
forgive me.
like someone made a sticky. I shall attend to young Sean.
You know, I was nervous at first, but Codsworth's really good with Sean.
Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. All right, so here's one of the things. So,
I'm so proud of her.
all right. So she is a lawyer.
Good old USA.
He is a soldier. We know this for a couple of reasons, but uh, this is her law degree. Just we'll keep that in mind for another night. Uh, Actually, we might keep that in mind for tonight. Actually, here he comes. Oh, good.
Can you get that?
Good morning. Vault-Tec calling.
Good morning.
Isn't it? You can't...
Yeah, glad to hear.
Then I'm glad you caught up with
Oh, me. Now, I'm here.
me.
Sounds
Sounds
great.
great.
Oh, it... I just need...
Yeah, I can't wait for the world to end.
That's the spirit.
I love the
Now,
sarcastic
let's
responses.
see.
All right. None of this matters, so I just. Okay.
Wonderful.
Um,
Yeah, we're
Thanks
not playing
again.
this past the conversation
Hey,
with his
it's
wife.
peace of mind. That's worth a little paperwork, right?
For you and Sean, no price is too high.
Good answer.
I have my moments.
Somebody explain to me what is up with these high waist
Mr.
pants.
Nate, Sean has been changed, but he absolutely refuses to calm down. I think he needs some of that paternal affection you seem to be so good at.
You heard Codsworth. Go on.
All right. Play with the baby.
How are the two most important men in my life doing? Spin the mobile a bit. He loves that.
Okay. Now we're going to pay attention to this
There's my
conversation.
guy. Much better now, huh? Listen, after breakfast, I was thinking we could head to the park for a bit. Weather should hold up.
We're going to go with the sarcastic answer because this is where we actually get some information.
Will it be like that night in the park a year ago?
Sir, Mum, you should come and see this.
All right.
Codsworth?
Okay. Note, the night in the park a year ago. All right. Now let's load up Victory. Better be the right one. If I have to remake Victory, I'm going to be really, really annoyed. It better be Nate standing at the mirror. Oh, damn, come on. Yeah, I don't want Nate's save. Okay. Why is it not giving me? Oh, here we go. All right. Oh, tell me that I'm not going to be able to do this. Okay, show no saves. Okay. Should be this one. We'll see. It took me a few minutes to make the character. I really don't feel like going through all that again. Hey, Gimpy, how are you doing? Welcome. All right. I want to thank you very much for joining me tonight. Yes, okay. Let me go real fast and turn off the radio so that my stream doesn't get muted by Twitch. But we are actually going to be talking about the music too. Oh, that's okay. I completely understand. It's almost like we had a holiday, a couple of holidays here this past month, so no problems. All right. Yeah. We will be talking a bit about the music too in this whole discussion about nostalgia.
Ah, good morning, Mum. Your coffee.
So hopefully, since music will be part of the discussion, if we do end up with some music in this and Twitch tries to mute it, I can fight it on the basis of fair use.
73.5 degrees Fahrenheit. True to perfection.
That works, Skimpy. Not a problem.
Today's newspaper just delivered.
Grognak the Barbarian and the Jungle of the Bat Babies.
All right, we're drinking our coffee.
Good old US of A. Lot of late nights. It was worth it.
All right. So she's a lawyer. We've established that. You're going to read your paper because God knows I can't get you to answer a door.
Ah,
And look, the
some
baby's
great
crying
salon
again.
made us sticky. I shall attend to young Sean.
I know we were nervous at first, but I'm glad we got Codsworth.
You think you're glad? All right, come on. Come on, Vault-Tec dude. So I am going to be doing... Oh, sweet. That will be awesome. All right. What is going on? Why won't Vault-Tec dude show up? There he comes. Takes him forever to show up. Slightly different brand of nostalgia tonight.
Good morning. Vault-Tec calling.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Told you.
Isn't it? Just look
Goth
at that
chick.
sky out there. You can't begin to know how happy I am to finally speak with you. I've been trying for days. It's a matter of utmost urgency, I assure you.
I'm here now.
So you are. Now I'm here today to tell you that because of your...
Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Sounds great.
Oh, it is. Believe you me.
Uh-huh.
I just need to...
The apocalypse? Well, hell, sign me up.
I love that so
That's
much.
the spirit. Now, let's see.
All right. So... Victory. So what I always do on my vault runs is I pump my intelligence and luck both up to 10. I do this because I'll be able to change it when I get out. I'm not really going to be using bats and stuff while I'm in the vault, so I don't really care about agility or perception. But by having my luck up to 10, I maximize the kind of loot that I can get in the vault. And by having my intelligence up to 10, I maximize the XP I can get in the vault. Yeah, I'm cheesing it just a little bit.
Wonderful. That's everything. Just gonna walk this over to the vault.
And before I leave the vault, I'll actually change it to what my actual build's going to be, which for Victory is
again.
going to
Hey,
be
it's peace of
Sniper,
mind. It's worth a
and
little paperwork, right?
probably
For you,
melee for
Sean,
close-up. I
no
haven't
price
decided
is
for
too
sure
high.
yet.
Good answer.
I have my moments.
Mom, Sean has been changed, but he absolutely refuses to calm down. I think he needs some of that maternal affection you seem to be so good at.
Go ahead, honey. I'll be there in a second to help, okay?
All right, now this is why I'm like, now even though I was going to start this at Sanctuary, I'm like,
My
no, I
boy
want
isn't
to actually
giving his
talk
mother
about
any
this
trouble,
conversation.
Hey, I fixed that mobile on his crib the other day. Why don't you give it a spin? That's my boy, on his best behavior, just like his dad. Well, most of the time, anyway. Listen, after breakfast, I was thinking we could head to the park for a bit. Weather should hold up.
Oh, we're going to do the sarcastic answer again.
Oh, right. The park. With you. Because I want to get pregnant again.
Sir, Mom, you should come and see this.
Codsworth? What's wrong?
Okay. So, is it going to be like the park a year ago and, oh, the park with you because I want to get pregnant again? 9-month human gestation, that is a 3-month-old baby. Right there. 3 months old. 4 months, maybe, if she had him prematurely, maybe. He's a 3-month-old baby. We're going to keep that in mind for a little bit while we go to the vault.
What did he say?
And we're going to hit some other interesting questions.
We do have coming in. That's confirmed reports.
Because there is something I did not know. Because this is my first Fallout game. There's something I didn't know when I first played this game. It had to be pointed out to me
We need to
by
get to the vault.
No True American, who has played a lot of Fallout games. If you already know, don't spoil it in the chat. Come on, honey. Are you going? Did I miss him leaving? I missed him leaving. All right, come on. It's fun to try and leave because the bomb happens and you die.
Help me pack it up.
Cares about the stupid luggage?
If you're in the vault program, enter the gate.
That's absurd! I am
Not on the
Vault
list.
Tech.
You don't get in.
I'm going in. You can't stop me!
Hey,
Okay. Are they letting you in and not me? Someone's gonna hear about this.
We're not in the vault. If you're in the program, step forward. Otherwise,
we need to get in. We're on the list.
I love these accents, by the
Infant,
way.
adult male, adult female. Okay,
I am
go ahead.
Southern born and
Thank you.
Southern bred.
Good luck, sir.
I love these accents in
So
this
what's
game.
gonna happen to all those people outside
We're
the
doing
gate?
everything we can. Now keep moving.
These Boston accents,
Step on
just,
the platform,
I love
in the
them.
center.
I can't help it. All right, so I was talking to Notre about this. I actually do like this opening sequence because there is a lot
We're gonna
of
be okay.
basic gameplay stuff
I love you.
that. All right, so I'm blind now. And I'm about to die. I am dead. I'm actually already dead before that shockwave actually hits, more than likely. But if I'm not, I am definitely dead when that shockwave hits. But I'm not dead, obviously. No, I actually do like the opening sequence, though, from a gameplay and game design perspective, because there's a lot of information that the game covers with you about social interaction, about interacting with your environment, about simple commands that it doesn't have to tell you. It just lets you do it and guides you as you go. I actually really like that. But, and the thing that we're going to talk about in a few minutes, I get you kind of need to have in place from that same design perspective. When you're thinking about all of this is a tutorial. Everything that we're going through right now, this is the tutorial. So
See?
it needs to have some stuff, but you cannot have aspects of your tutorial present and ignore the effect they are going to have on the narrative that you're telling. Because this is, make no mistake about it, a heavily narrative game. From everything that's about to happen here, to all of the interactions you have with your companions, to the different bits and pieces of stories that you will get in on computer terminals, all of it, you know,
Can you Sean's being fussy.
you know,
Okay.
books and
See?
notes and stuff that you'll find lying around. All of that is just full of story. This is a heavily narrative game. It's one of the things I like about it. I'm a writer. I like story. And the story's got its issues, but it's not a bad story.
For a whole new life.
So, oh, a funny side note. The first time I'm watching this game, I'm watching No True American play it. And this is before I've ever played it. And I'm watching this scene, and I was waiting to see the baby explode. Apparently that is something Bethesda would never ever do in a game, but that was just the thing that happened in my mind when they're talking about it's a decompression chamber, and I'm like, I'm not sure that you should put an infant in that. Because I had no idea. I didn't really do a whole lot of spoiler reading on it because until I saw him start playing it, I wasn't really interested in the game. And um, so I didn't do a whole lot of spoiler reading, so I didn't know what was going to happen. Uh, so just a funny little aside of me waiting for the baby to die horribly. There we go. Sorry, situating some cords. Hey, maybe you can let me out too.
Let the boy go. I'm only gonna tell you once. I'm not giving you shot! Get the kid out of here. Let's go.
All right. I do not actually have a problem with this sequence. I know other people do. And I get the problem that they have. One of the things you have to think about is you have to put yourself into Nate's shoes. Uh, there is no there is no time that passes for you. Once you freeze, that's it, and then you unfreeze, and it is a moment later for you. So, a moment before, there was a person whose face could be clearly seen, who was in a doctor, a lab outfit and the whole 9 yards, who put us into the vault, or into the thing. When he wakes up, there is somebody whose face he cannot see trying to take his baby from him, and a guy in leathers with a gun standing on the other side. I do not at all blame Nate for going, I'm not giving you my kid. Like, that makes sense to me.
Come on, come on.
Thinking about it from his perspective.
I'll find who did this. And I'll get Sean back.
Oh, by the way, if ever I was going to have a Fallout mom, this should be my Fallout mom. Because it is a Fallout mom. Alright. Gotta collect my loot. I've talked about this in playing 76. I will drive you insane with it, I'm sure. I collect everything that I can. I do not like the idea of leaving loot behind. I really don't. The good news is I have most of the stuff memorized where it's at in here. I'm not going to bother with all the cups in the cafeteria, though, because I don't care about the coffee cups that much. But I am taking the bottles because I'll fill up the bottles with water. Oh, and I figured out how to get a little extra XP in here, too. Usually the rad roaches over there, one of them will usually die to the electricity, but you can lure it away before it dies. And if you do that, you get just a little extra XP, and if you play your cards right, you will level as soon as you hit Sanctuary Hills, instead of having to wait. I didn't say you could go away, dude. Come back here, Fred. Alright.
Giant roaches?
What the hell?
What the hell?
And yes, I'm getting my game. Alright. Grabbing our stuff. Yeah, I don't really care about, like I said, I don't really care about all of the cups, but I do care about the bottles. Alright, let's lure you. Where is he? Where is he? Oh, damn it, it already hit him. Okay, fine. Alright, so here's the other thing. So we know how old Sean is. What is that? That is VATS, right? The thing I did not know when I first started playing this game until it was pointed out to me, VATS is not something that humans just do. It is a product of something that I do not have on my arm right now. I don't have a Pip-Boy. So the very important question is, oh, I'm not in survival mode. How did I forget to put myself in survival? All right. I'm like, why can I not get water? All right. But yeah, you're not supposed to, I'm not supposed to be able to do VATS without a Pip-Boy. And I get from a design perspective that you want to go ahead and have VATS be available in the tutorial, because it is a very important part of gameplay, and you do not want tutorial play to vary too much from what the player is going to experience once they're done with the tutorial. That's the whole point of a tutorial, is to teach you how to play. So from a design perspective, I get being able to access VATS, but by having you access VATS for people who do know the lore or who get informed about the lore, it poses a very interesting question that the main game doesn't really answer. There we go. There he is. Easy, Amy. Really? There we go. Seems like there should be one more. There he is. Come on, dude. All right. So I'm not going to level as soon as I hit Sanctuary Hills because I did not get to kill the extra Radroach. That makes me mad. Oh well. I'll have to make a bed first. Which is actually going to be the first thing I do when I get to Sanctuary Hills. So it's all good. And yeah, I shoot this well and calmly here, and not when I'm playing something like Apex. I don't understand me sometimes. Alright, see, now I have a Pip-Boy. Now, if they didn't want you asking the question, why can I VATS before I have a Pip-Boy? They could have just had us get the Pip-Boy when we get our jumpsuit, or have a body that has a Pip-Boy right outside of the pods, the cryogenic pods, so that we can just, you know, get the Pip-Boy there. And then there's not a question of why am I able to use VATS when I don't have the tool that gives me access to it? And the theory is that, well, we can access fats and are as good as we are at combat as a lawyer. Because remember, I'm playing the girl, I'm a lawyer. I have had a baby, and I have gone to night school to get my law degree. And I'm also apparently a really good marksman. And I'm going to get even better really fast. There is something up with that. And one of the prevailing theories that I actually do think is very heavily supported by a lot of this is that you're actually a synth. So, and we're going to talk about that some more. I've actually got a lot of other things that I really feel like the ball just kind of got dropped on. We'll actually hit that in a minute. But you're not here to listen to my tinfoil hatting about being a synth. We're going to get lots of that throughout the entirety of the game. We wanted to talk about nostalgia. Okay. I want more of you, and you. Gonna need some of you. Alright. It's a pretty balanced build right now. I'll be shaping it out better as I go. I Yeah, we're fine here. Nothing is higher than I'm going to want it to be eventually anyway. I don't, for sniping, I don't use VATS a whole lot, but I use it sometimes. And if I decide to go the gun bunny route with pistols instead of melee, which I might do, I'll want my perception. So I think I might actually do that with Victory. So, all right. And please, somebody tell me that you get the spelling of the name and like what I'm referencing when I spell her name that way, because I'm actually referencing something. Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Okay. So, Fallout is the future that never was. It's a very particular type of nostalgia to me because everything goes back to the 1950s and then sets up an alternate history and then progresses the future from there. So everything in the game has a very nostalgic feel, and how everything looks in the music that's all around you, the clothing, the styles, even the types of, in a lot of cases, types of bad guys that we're going to be dealing with. All of those touch on that same nostalgia. And it's really interesting to me. Like, okay. I like old music. And I love jazz and I love big band stuff, but there is a certain feeling that I will get to hearing some of these songs that I really only get thinking about or playing the game. It's not a product of the song itself. It's like these are not songs that have a nostalgic tie for me. Um, you know, before playing Fallout 4, several of the songs on the Fallout soundtrack I'd not heard before. Um, It's All Over But the Crying. Uh, some of these others were completely new to me. I just had never been exposed to them. It wasn't music I grew up with. It wasn't music that my parents played, anything like that. See, no leveling. But there is that nostalgic feel to it as I'm playing the game. So it is creating a nostalgia for me for that doesn't belong to me. And that's interesting to me. There's some implications about what nostalgia is and how things become nostalgia for us that I don't think is really, I don't think it was an intended examination, but it is there nonetheless. Okay, that's the button I hit. Uh, my prior Fallout 4 playing has been on the PlayStation 4. So the Xbox controllers, almost everything is the same positioning, except, what I use to open and close my workshop is different. Oh, that's, okay, there we go. I get what we're doing now. All right. Like, almost everything is the same, except when it's not. All right. But yeah, I don't know, it's just very weird to me that I can feel that nostalgic tie, I guess, to something that does not actually hold nostalgia for me. The music has no special meaning. It's not music I grew up with. It's not even music my grandparents exposed me to or anything. I'll be honest, I really couldn't tell you what kind of music my grandparents listened to. That is kind of weird to say. I just never thought about it. But okay. All right, so we're going to go and have a chat with Codsworth now because here's the other really weird thing. I want you to remember our conversation with our husband. And I did the very quick thing from his point of view, and he asks if, the picnic in the park is going to be like it was a year ago. That is his sarcastic answer. And when we give her matching sarcastic answer, it's, yeah, a picnic in the park with you because I want to get pregnant again. Right? Sean is 3 months old. Just bear that in mind a second. Oh, hold on. There's one other thing I wanted to do. Just in case. I don't think I'm going to screw up the dialogue, but just in case I do. Let's pop a save, shall we? All right.
As I live and breathe. Oh, it's really
Codsworth, you're still here. So other people could still be alive too.
Well, of course I'm still here. Surely you don't think a little radiation could deter the pride of General Atomics International? But you've seen the worst for wear. Best not let the hubby see you in that state, huh? Where is Sir, by the way?
He's in a better place.
Oh, Mum, these things you're saying, these terrible things, I believe you'll need a distraction. Yes, a distraction to calm this dire mood. It's been ages since we've had a proper family activity. Checkers, or perhaps charades. Oh, Sean does so love that game. Is the lad with you?
Sean is 3 months old when we go into the vault. I have 2 kids. At 3 months old, neither of them was responding to much less charades. Or charades.
Mum, you were going to say?
Sean's been
It's worse
All
than
right.
200.
A bitter? That means you...
Codsworth, you're acting a little weak.
Mum, I spent
Charades.
the first
A 3-month-old baby.
years trying to keep the
Yeah, I get that
nothing gets out.
he's not talking about Sean playing charades, but he's talking about Sean responding to it.
Don't get me started
And
about the futility of
that's not a thing in a 3-month-old.
and the car.
Stay with me, pal. Focus.
I'm afraid I don't know anything, Mum. The bombs came and all of you left in such a hurry. I thought for certain you and
I
your
think
family were dead.
that the Sean
I
Codsworth
did
played
find this
charades
holiday.
with
I believe Sir was going to present it to you as a surprise. But then, well, everything
I
happened.
think that Sean is an older Sean.
Thank you, Codsworth.
You're welcome. Now,
I kind of wonder if a broken down Codsworth was maybe taken into the Institute so that Sean could get some information.
Sean may turn up yet.
Or,
All right. Lead the way.
oh, spoilers. But yeah, I don't think Codsworth is talking about a baby Sean here. I think Codsworth is talking about an older Sean, which
That'll leave it.
has some interesting implications if we're a Sin. And actually, kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense that an older Sean
Movement in another house.
would be here if we are a Sin. Even if he didn't come here himself, to get a broken down Codsworth, muck around with the AI to get some information and then repair it is something I very much could see happening. Hey, that was a good shot.
Picking up hostile light.
All right.
Mom, your family is...
Sure. Thanks for trying, Codsworth.
You can't give up, Mum.
Thanks for your help, Codsworth.
Good luck, Mum. I shall remain here and secure the...
Yes, blah, blah, blah. Fix things up. I don't care. Do what you need to, Codsworth. I have work to do. All right. So, yeah. Those are my big questions at the opening of the game is, the VATS and the Sean thing. The Sean thing, I think, bothers me worse than the VATS stuff does. because like I said, I can see them just not really paying attention and making and having VATS be a thing that you can do because you need to be able to do it as part of the tutorial, so that you have a streamlined, consistent way that combat works. So as much as it creates some interesting questions, it is not
There we go.
game breaking to me so much as it's just disorienting. Oh, hold on. I need to. Oh, I did level up. Yay. All right. That's what we're getting. Okay, so my really important things that I need. Hacker. I will want Scrapper. So I'm going to need another intelligence. Okay, so intelligence 5 is the most important thing I'm going to want on this. I will want my agility higher whether I'm doing melee or gun bunny, I will want my agility to be higher. My charisma, I need to get up to 6. I'm actually probably okay on my endurance. My perception obviously was going to need to be higher. I need to be an 8 eventually so I can get sniper. And then my strength just to be stronger. I'll eventually want to be able to do strong back. But I might, like I said, I think I might go the gun bunny route. So that'll just be an eventually kind of thing. But since perception is really going to be my most important thing, we're going to put that in perception. All right. But yeah, there is just... It is really interesting how the game uses a lot of different things to build a nostalgia in you that is not necessarily natural to you. I think the music helps that too. So, music is one of those things that is culturally ingrained in us. There is a significance music has for us that I think really does help to create the, I guess, sleight of hand that gives us the nostalgia the game needs us to have. Because I don't know if you have noticed in playing this game, pretty much everything that we're going to do that does not, everything that we're going to come across that isn't related to our son and our main quest has some kind of nostalgia built into it. I don't want to spoil too much. I have a feeling if you're coming here, you're probably well aware. Yes, I'm a bloody synth. I know I'm a bloody synth. I do buy very much into the theory that I'm a synth. And it makes sense Like, the only thing that bothers me is that, okay, that whole exchange with Codsworth, there is never a chance to follow up on it. I don't get to question him about, how did my little bitty baby play charades? How did he respond to it when that's not a thing a 3-month-old baby is going to do? Right? I don't get to follow up on any of that. None of that is touched upon or revisited. But it is very obvious to me that Codsworth has had interaction with a Sean that is not a 3-month-old baby. I wonder, though, if I would learn more if I took Codsworth into the Institute. I'll have to try and remember that. You'll have to remind me about that once we get to late game. Remind me that I want to find out if there's anything that I can learn about all of this if I take Codsworth to the Institute. Because I think that would answer a lot of my questions. Maybe. Okay. There are a lot of other dropped balls, so, wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't pan out. I don't know if anybody else has tried that before. I haven't bothered to look. Okay. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on stream doing that. I've got a bed. Oh, hold on. I've got a bed. We need our survival basics. All right. Not that button, that button. Okay. We need some water. I have no food I care about planting right now. Not that I have anybody to work it, but And then some defense. Okay. So I have my house, I have a bed, I have some water, and I have some defense. Those are the main things I care about right now. I do not really care about the rad roaches. But, okay. This statue. This is not just, whatever statue. It is actually a thing. Where is the plaque for it? I thought there was a plaque for it. I thought there was a plaque here. I could be wrong, or it could be a mod that puts the plaque on. But this is actually a historical bridge. Time to get best boy. Yes, it is time to get best boy. That is actually, that's supposed to be a historical bridge. I don't remember what one of the Revolutionary War battles, nostalgia. The whole choice of setting this in Boston is itself playing on nostalgia.
Here all by yourself?
And it's playing on our real world nostalgia about American history, and then dovetailing that into helping us to create a connection with this world.
You want to come with me, though? Okay, then. Let's stick together.
There is a video on YouTube that Bethesda put out, and they show the dog that they patterned Dogmeat after, and she is so cute. All right. Come on, where are you at? I know you're waiting to come up. Where are they? More cram. Yeah, it's so I watch a lot of YouTube. In fact, if you pay attention, I will probably talk about this at some point in more detail. But or again, anyway. I have, when I go to sleep at night, a playlist. And my playlist is not music. It's video essays that I listen to. It's my favorite video essays. I've got a playlist that's like over 100 videos long, of these different videos from different channels that I watch. Philosophy, politics, media criticism. Those are pretty much what they all are. Yeah, media criticism, politics, philosophy, social issues. So, one of them that's on there is Folding Ideas. And last Christmas, he did a video about Christmas Story. And he has some very interesting things to say there about nostalgia. Because nostalgia is like the entire point of that movie. It is, this is what Oh, I almost died. I was not paying attention to my health. This is what I get for trying to talk while I play games. I have best boy. Yeah, you're a good boy. You're a good boy. I love Dogmeat so much. Dogmeat is by far my favorite companion. He really is. I will not even pretend or lie. I love Dogmeat so much. Okay. But no, okay, so Christmas Story. He talks about being careful about childhood nostalgia. The movie is supposed to be this guy talking about this Christmas he had when he was a kid, but it's not really about him being a kid. It's about him being an adult thinking about the things that matter to him now from when he was a kid. And the whole selling point of Christmas Story is that it's supposed to be nostalgia. You're remembering back fondly on a past and having those nostalgic fifis about it. And apparently, when the movie came out, it didn't do really good in the box office. It didn't actually become really popular until it got onto television. And he talks about TV creating this, or lending to the sleight of hand, that the movie's supposed to feel older than it is. You're not really going to get that in the movie theater, but once it's on TV, it's going to feel older because, well, a movie's not new when it's on TV. Um, so he talks about all this, and he talks about being careful when you're talking about childhood nostalgia, because children don't typically get to curate what they're going to watch, what they're going to play with. You know, yeah, we get to ask our parents for toys, but a lot of the toys we learn to ask our parents for, we ask for based on toys that they were getting for us before we could talk.
Way I could pick this.
And toys that are sold to us through TV commercials. Unless your friend has, you know, a Barbie doll or a Polly Pocket, if you even know what that is, or whatever, unless your friend has one of those, you're not really trying out these toys before you're asking for them. You're asking for them because, you know, the commercials and everybody's getting them. But you don't really know if you're going to like it, do you? You watch TV shows because they're on TV, especially back when I was a kid. Um, you know, yeah, we had cable TV, but most of most kid TV was done through local networks and a teeny Nickelodeon size handful of kid stations. Um, I don't know. I really don't know if some of the stuff that I loved as a kid, if I saw it for the first time as an adult, I don't know if I would like it. Um, I have gone back and watched a few things from when I was a kid, and some of them I still genuinely love. Um, the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. I loved that cartoon when I was a kid. Um, hey, Carla.
Excuse me.
So what's your story? Looking to trade? Rob me? Or just ask directions to Diamond City?
Um,
Just looking for love, sweetheart.
Girl, have you come to the wrong place? My loving days have long since passed. But I'll tell you what, beautiful. You made an old girl smile, and that ain't easy. You want to do some trading? I'll give you a discount.
a little secret.
Let's see what
If
you
you,
got.
she actually does legitimately do this. She gives you better prices if you flirt with her first. It's great. Um, if you didn't know that before, you know that now. It's a great thing. I love it. I don't really like Carla otherwise, but she's useful sometimes. Do you have anything useful on you when you have corn? And razor grain. All right, she has corn and razor grain, which are both going to be useful for me. I don't really care about anything else she has. I am going to be fat with bobby pins before too long, so I'm not worried about that. She has a camera. see. I'm going to tell her that. Okay. I really do not want to mess with the whole thing going on up there right now, so we're going to head back up this way, back up to Sanctuary. I'm going to dump off my camera. I don't really care about dealing with Concord right now. I really don't. I don't feel like fighting a Deathclaw today. I would like to have several more perks before I'm doing that fight. Ooh. Actually, I need a lot more caps and spray and pray. Spray and pray would make that fight go real fast. I don't really like the minigun. It doesn't do a whole lot of damage, and in a clip versus a Deathclaw. I have watched Spray and Pray tear through like legendary Deathclaws. So, yeah. But yeah, so Dungeons and Dragons was a cartoon I really, really loved as a kid. I have watched it again as an adult, and I still love it. Even when it gets a little corny, it is still such a great cartoon. They did such a great job with the story and everything. I love the characters. I love the development that you see of the characters as the series goes along. Like there's actual like arcs that happen with some of these characters. They're not. It's a kids' cartoon, so consistency on character arcs is always going to be a little iffy. In part because I think that there is a writing down that tends to happen a lot in children's media. We can argue about whether or not that's necessary. I don't really feel like arguing about that because it's a boring conversation to me. I thought I sold those to Carla. Did I not finish that sale? Anyway, I could have sworn I finished that sale. To me, it's kind of a boring conversation, so I don't really feel like having it right now. But we could have a conversation about whether or not it's necessary to have that kind of dumbing down. I don't think it is, but it happens. And but there are arcs that happen. They're not always consistent because people think that you've got to do certain things in order to have the kids watching your show remember and understand the characters that they're following. But yeah, it's really good. On the other hand, there are other shows that I don't know if I saw them today, if I would enjoy them like I did when I was a kid. I will admit, because I do admit this freely, when I was a kid, I loved Gem. If you do not know what Gem is, go and look it up. It is amazing. But the things that the expectations I have of media I enjoy, I don't know that I would enjoy Gem now the way that I enjoyed it when I was a kid. And there are other cartoons like that too that I enjoyed when I was a kid that I don't know that I would enjoy now. And that speaks to that whole, you know, be wary of nostalgia that you have. You know, when you're talking about nostalgia, you know, be wary of it because, yeah, you loved these things, but you loved these things because a lot of times these things were put in front of you. You didn't get the chance to go, okay, do I like that? Do I want to watch that? Is that actually interesting to me? It's just what was on. Um, or it's what your parents made you watch, or it's what your parents bought you. And none of them are things that you got for yourself in a lot of cases. And I think he makes a very good point there. Um, and I think that everything that we see here, all of the nostalgic points of this game, from the historic settings, you know, Boston. I don't think that these places are chosen without purpose. So Fallout 4 is Boston. Fallout 3 is uh, is Washington D.C. Fallout New Vegas is Las Vegas. Obviously, it's Fallout New Vegas. And I don't think any of that is is a choice made without very specific purposes about nostalgia. I will be honest, I don't know where Fallouts 1 and 2 are set. I don't. I'm sorry. Um, I haven't followed anything about Fallouts 1 and 2. No, True could probably tell you because I'm pretty sure he's played both. I don't know. I have no idea. Um, but there is a certain feeling if I say to you Washington, D.C., if I say to you Boston, Massachusetts, if I say to you Las Vegas, Nevada, especially if you are an American, if you are not an American, your mileage may vary on whether or not these places trigger nostalgia for you. But if you are an American, or if you live in this country, chances are good that these places are going to trigger something for you on that nostalgia boat. Um, for me, the images that come to mind immediately for Las Vegas, of course, gambling, but also, you know, lounge singers and the mafia. Uh, the mafia had a lot of involvement in the building of Las Vegas and a lot of what was established there. Um, so the mafia is one of those things that I'm going to think of when you say Las Vegas. Um, if you know, Washington D.C. is, of course, you know, patriotism and, you know, the government and law and order, um, all of that. And if you say Boston, well, I know my American history. Um, it's going to be stuff around the American Revolution and uh, you know, again, patriotism, but also um, just rebellion and I used quotation marks there, not really in reference to the American Revolution, but to the opinions of other types and occurrences of revolutions. The only just revolution is not one that you just one that you win. Nor is calling on the nostalgia of a revolution that was won for you instant justification for your own. But all that aside, I want to wax philosophical, not political tonight. What am I doing? There we go. There are feelings that just, oh yay, I do have circuitry. Woohoo! I thought I might have some there. Yeah, there are nostalgic fifis that get brought up in my mind just on the basis of those locations. There are certain feelings that I have on the basis of what I have learned as an American citizen growing up in America and learning American history. And, you know, your mileage may vary on how that works out for you. Like I said, a lot of that is going to depend on what country you're from. It is going to depend on who you are. I have a very specific set of privileges that is going to define the fifis I get about these places and what they conjure up for me. That is going to be different from somebody who does not have my set of privileges. I lack some privileges that others have, and so my feelings are going to be different from theirs. All of that comes into play. Nostalgia is a very personal thing. It can be cultivated very obviously. I think this game kind of proves that. Oops, I don't want to do that. It can be cultivated in a person, in people, but how that cultivation grows is going to be dependent on a lot of different factors. But I find this game fascinating in how it creates an alternate history and then it makes you nostalgic for that history. In a way that I'm not sure if a lot of other franchises pull off as well. Like, I'm trying to think about some other franchises that rely heavily on world building, or more so, and if they are as successful at creating that sense of nostalgia within the world. Like, okay, Star Wars. There is lots of nostalgia that I have for Star Wars, but it is not an in-universe nostalgia. It is not... Oh, God. I'm trying to think of how to explain this. Like I can feel what I'm thinking about, but putting it into words is really hard. Um, so just please bear with me for a few minutes while I try to think about the best way to dig into these thoughts. Okay. All right. My nostalgia about Star Wars isn't about, what it must have been like to be on Tatooine or, you know, what would those last moments in Alderaan have been like or any of that. It's about being a kid and watching these movies for the first time, being a kid and playing with these toys, you know, being an adult and, you know, finding out that there's going to be prequels and my disappointment in them. Um, Although, at the end of Phantom Menace, Vader's breathing was really cool. Um, but all of that nostalgia is my interaction with the media. It is not about the media itself. Um, and that doesn't change. Like I have played uh 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 which one is it? Star Wars The Old Republic, the MMO one. I've played that game before. I enjoy that game. I like it. Do I don't want to wear military fatigues, do I? Do I care about military fatigues? The agility's nice, but I kind of like my vault suit. I don't know. All right. Um.
Huh?
Hey, Carla.
Hey, Carla.
You again. Here to trade?
I'll take a look. Sure.
A little bit of everything.
Okay. Okay. What is going on here? Why is it not completing my trade? What am I missing?
Road's pretty long from here.
I'll take a look. Sure.
Here's what I got.
Okay. Oh, I see what I'm missing. Duh. There we go. That's what I did. That's what I forgot to do. Because I'm a dingling. I keep forgetting my bottom button's not my X anymore. All right. So what was I talking about? Because I lost my train of thought. Oh, right. So Star Wars. Even playing the MMO. While there is a certain amount of immersion into the world, it still does not. It still does not bridge that gap in my nostalgia. Um, it doesn't make my nostalgia for Star Wars about the Star Wars universe as much as it is about media. Like, in a way, it kind of only reinforces that. I've played the tabletop role playing game, a couple of different versions of it. It's the same way. I have nostalgia about playing the game, but the immersion ends there, if that makes sense. Um, Whereas here, the nostalgic feeling isn't about playing the game. The nostalgic feeling is about the game. Um, I am looking at a world that has been destroyed. And here I am. In theory, I'm going to find my son. Eh. Um, I'll get to that eventually. But I'll not give myself a hard time on that because, okay, as far as I know, my son was just kidnapped from me. He is 3 months old. He is a tiny baby in a very unforgiving world. I mean, it has been annihilated. Um, she is the first human contact I've had, and while she's nice enough and is at least nice enough to go, oh, that's sweet about the flirting, she is also kind of salty. Um, what am I going to do right now if I were to speed run this? And let's think about this narratively for a second. Because there is a lot of like jokes and memes about how long you will spend doing everything except finding Sean. But let's think about this for a second. I'm going to speedrun this. I'm going to leave here, and I'm going to talk to Carla, and I'm going to find out how to find Diamond City, because it has city in its name. That means there's going to be a lot of people. I can maybe get some information. So I'm going to speedrun it down to Diamond City. Somehow I avoid the trouble on the way to Diamond City, and I get in. I am probably not going to get information right away that I should talk to Nick, but I will eventually. Oh, Nick's not there. Gotta go rescue Nick. I go rescue Nick. I talk to Nick. Nick has some ideas. We get Dogmeat. I follow Dogmeat. I go and I find Kellogg. Deal with Kellogg. Hey, look, this big blimp in the sky. Spoilers? Spoilers for a game that's been out for 4 years. But, okay. So, they're here. I do some other stuff. I get some more information. I find out what's in Kellogg's head. I go, I track down some people. I find my way into the Institute.
I just wanted to introduce myself. I heard your radio beacon, so I figured, why not? I wanted to personally thank you for giving us this opportunity. So let me know if you have anything you need me to do.
You can talk to me some more. I love your Bostonian accent.
Did you need anything?
Thanks, but I really can't think of anything we need.
I love the voice acting. I love the voice acting in this game. I really do. Okay. And I reach the Institute. Now, let's just pause a second. Before we find out what has actually become of our son. Even when I think he's like an 11-year-old kid, what am I going to do as soon as I come out of the vault with a baby or a kid in this place? I've got 2 turrets, a couple of people who are complete strangers to me, 2-headed cows, but I do have a good dog. Hey, good dog. Good boy. Good boy. I have a good boy. What am I going to do with a kid? How am I going to keep him alive? What am I feeding? 3 months old. Okay. There's enough bottles and stuff laying around. I'm probably not breastfeeding Sean. We've got Codsworth there to take care of him. Codsworth handles most of that. I'm probably not breastfeeding him, so that's fine. I'm not worried about what I'm feeding myself in order to produce the breast milk I'm going to need to keep a baby fed. But where am I getting milk to feed him? What am I feeding a 3-month-old baby? Because I have no idea. I do not have food on me that I can give to a 3-month-old. I don't think there is food anywhere that I'm going to run across that would be appropriate to feed a 3-month-old baby. But sure, I'll speed run it and forget settlement building and just go and get the baby who's going to die a few days after I get him. From exposure, most likely, because it's also October. And nuclear winter was not that long ago. Like, no, I do not have any issues with this is the look of someone who realizes what she should do, and she does not want to do it. You cannot make her do it. I don't want to. Screw that. I don't want to deal with that death claw. Although I could go in, get the bobblehead, and just leave. That is a valid, no, wait. Oh, no, I can't. I can't just leave. I still have to deal with the fight, which means dealing with the death claw. Oh yeah, and that right there, that smoking. Like, I know that somebody in my house was smoking, not me, so I'm guessing it was Nate. But yeah, just people lighting up cigarettes all around the baby. Not good. There is nothing about living in this place that would be healthy for Sean. Nothing at all. That's why I don't give myself, I'm not going to give myself a hard time about the fact that I am going to spend a lot of time settlement building and doing everything except, going after my kid. Because like I said, what am I going to do? How am I going to keep him safe? I'm going to need people that I can trust. I'm going to need supplies. I am going to need food. These people that are coming and answering the settlement beacon, I'm going to need to get to know them. Carla, it's great that she's receptive to my flirting, but, is she somebody that I can actually trust? I need to learn these things. If I'm going to bring a baby to this place, I have to make sure I am bringing my child to a place that is safe. And see? Random bugs randomly in houses. This is not safe for a baby. Not safe at all. All right. All joking aside, if I'm going to make a place that is safe for my baby, because we might as well do this, we're going to need to explore some more, and we're going to need to, make sure that the area is safe. I don't want there to be threats that, Codsworth did mention that there were people who tried to shoot him in Concord. Well, I don't know if he mentioned it to me, but one of the dialogue trees you can do with Codsworth, he mentions there being people in Concord that shoot at him. I'll be honest, I don't really listen to Codsworth when he talks. Ooh, hello. There we go. Oh, good dog. Oh, good dog meat. Good boy. Good boy. Oh, I love dog meat. Yeah. I feel nostalgic for this place. Like, I don't know. There is the nostalgia that I feel in relation to this game does not feel like my nostalgia for something like Star Wars. I am legitimately trying to think if there is something else that I can compare it to, where I might feel the same kind of nostalgia. I think, as far as other media goes, for me, I think that the closest I would have to the same kind of nostalgia I feel for the game, feeling for it, would be me and Robotech. So, if you do not know what Robotech is, who are you, and where have you been ever? Robotech is interesting because to describe what Robotech is, you would have to first go, okay, what do you know about Japanese anime? And how long have you been watching it? And what kind of purist are you when it comes to anime? Because in talking about Robotech, those are far more important questions than you might think. So, the Robotech I watched as a kid was a series of cartoons. There was actually 3 series. There was there was Macross Saga. There was I don't remember what the second one is called. And then there was the Invid Invasion. And it was really good. I absolutely loved it. It is one of those things that I have gone back and watched again and have felt the same way about it that I felt when I was a kid and first discovered it. I loved this show. I ate it up. If you continue to follow me and and some of the other stuff that I'm doing, I have a role-playing game that I'm working on. And as I continue working on it, um, as I begin releasing some stuff about it and revealing some of the lore behind the game, or the lore of the world that the game is set in, um, if you are familiar with Robotech, you will be able to pick up on the influences that it had on me very easily. Because I will not lie, there is a lot from it that I have, a lot that influenced me that I have kept in this, because it was very formative. It and Nausicaa were the first anime I can remember watching, and were both very very moving to me, in ways that other cartoons just were not. Um, and yeah, there's probably some Nausicaa influence in it too. Thinking about it, um, but okay. So that is the American version of Robotech. Um, Robotech is actually like, I think, three completely different Japanese anime. I don't think that they were actually related, or if they are not related in the same way that they are in the American cartoon. Um, so it's really interesting. But when I talk about Robotech, it is the American version, because that is what I was introduced to. And there was a way it captured my imagination, that I was able to immerse myself into it. I'm not sure if any other cartoons I watched at that time were quite the same. It wasn't just the story, it wasn't just the setting, it was also the characters. Like, there was something about those characters that was just amazing to me. And the kind of immersion I felt in watching that cartoon, and the way that it would capture my imagination and would stay with me. Like, I'm not talking about just capturing my imagination while I'm watching it, but lingering with me, so that I'm daydreaming about this. Wondering things about the characters, all of that. That level of immersion, that is a level of nostalgia that is not just about remembering watching it, but actually nostalgic for it, for the world created in it, for the characters, you know, remembering them the way that you might remember a childhood friend. That level of immersion, and that grip of nostalgia, I guess, is probably closer to what I feel about the nostalgic feelings this game invokes than... Did I just hear creaking? Or did I just hear dog meat? That is probably closer to what I feel with this game than my nostalgic feelings for something like Star Wars. Um, because it isn't just I'm not nostalgic for that time I interacted with it. I'm nostalgic for that time I felt a part of it, if that makes sense. And I can feel that playing the game. That this is not just a... I don't remember there being a Raider body down here. That's different. Oh, holy cow! That's great! Oh my god! That is hilarious! The Raiders in Concord went down to try and mess with those dogs. That's why there's a dead Raider in here. He tried to hide out in the house. Because there's a dead Raider up here. No. Do I still have... Hold on. I was kind of counting on something being here. No. Where is the Raider body that's supposed to be up here? Oh, how can you do this to me, game?
That's it.
I needed that. That's a sniper rifle. There's supposed to be a sniper rifle here. Or at least something like one. No. Oh, no. Alright, so I'm still on the hunt for a rifle. Oh, boy. He is not getting hurt by my stuff. Your breath stinks, dog meat. You need a mint. But, yeah. And like I said, it's all manufactured. Like, the feelings that I can... The feelings I can still feel of how I felt watching watching Robotech. That was something manufactured in me by that media. That is not to say that that is, fake or bad or anything like that. It is affective. That is really what it's supposed to do and what media ought to do. If media is good, it ought to affect you. But I was not feeling this about people who actually existed, um, about places or situations that were actually real. It was all made up stuff. But much like this, it was an Earth post bad stuff. You know, uh, the Macross series, it's, a world war basically ends when a giant alien spaceship crash lands on Earth. Um, and then you've got, this battle with aliens and all of this stuff and blah, blah, blah. And more destruction and more putting stuff together again in a destroyed world. And that doesn't stop. I hate what flies so much. Um, with the Invid invasion especially is, all very much, post-apocalyptic hellscape kind of thing, that it is set around. So there is something about a world destroyed and seeing familiar remnants of it. I will say that in places, in places I would feel sparks of the same thing in the Dark Tower series, especially when we are in Roland's world and we are seeing echoes of this one. Things that to Roland make no sense or have one meaning, but when we look at them, we go, oh, that's familiar. But not necessarily a good thing that I recognize it. And it's kind of, I think it's kind of the same thing here. There is a lot that is very familiar here. I mean, it'll do. It is not the kind of sniper rifle I would want to have. If it's what I've got to use, it's what I've got to use.
Got it.
But yeah, there is something about seeing a world that can feel so alien, and then seeing these very familiar trappings, historical places, for example, that draws you in a very interesting way. And I'm not quite ready to deal with. I'm not quite ready to deal with Olivia yet. Very specifically, I am not ready to deal with the mole rat that has landmines all over it. I hate that thing so much. I could do the smart thing. I could do the smart thing, and I could wake up the sentry bot and have it go to Olivia. That is an option. I don't think I'm going to mess with that place right now. But yeah, I wanted to do this for the stream because of the way that this uses and triggers nostalgia. Because like I said, this is not like how I feel playing this game is not the same as how I feel playing Dungeon Keeper. When I'm playing Dungeon Keeper, I am thinking about, you know, my memories of playing it many years ago, my favorite things that I like to do when I'm playing it, things like that. But this is all about it's all about being in a sad place. Yeah. It's an old, sad place. And I like it because it makes me feel sad. I was channeling my inner Sally Sparrow. But this is a nostalgia of a future that never was. A future that maybe we might have had, or could have, rather, since this is still in the future. But this is a future that we could have if we had made different decisions. If we had continued on our pursuit for nuclear power in the same way that we thought we were going to utilize it once upon a time. Yeah. But yeah, like it invokes nostalgia, but not about it. Like I'm not like you said, playing Dungeon Keeper is about re-experiencing something that I enjoyed many years ago. Playing this, I am feeling a nostalgia that is not the same thing. I am feeling the nostalgia for the world itself. These huge atomic powered cars, the robots, the retro look to the lights, to, you know, the radios and the TVs, all of that stuff that's inside that I keep destroying. That is nostalgia. Directed far more inward than most of the games that I do for nostalgia on this channel. Were there contents in there? Because there were not contents in there earlier. I think somebody put something in there. All right. I actually did have a purpose, which is to put down some boxes. All right, armor and weapons and clothing. Food and drink and drugs. Yeah. I don't know. Is it corny that I started to make myself feel weird talking about it? Like, I don't know. I feel weird. I feel like a dweeb right now. I really do. I'm still mad that I don't have a better... Okay. Marksman stock. Medium scope's fine. I do not need the bayonet on it. Come on. It'll do for now. I will say there is one thing I like about 76. I do actually like breaking stuff and learning how to craft stuff from that. I actually, again, it's a criticism I've heard leveled against the game, but I do actually get where that comes from, because my brother would tear stuff apart sometimes to learn how they work. So I actually get where that is coming from in breaking stuff apart in order to put it together. So there you go. I should probably start putting some stuff on. I have armor I have not even put on yet. All right. I do want to thank everyone for stopping by this evening. I'm actually going to cut off for tonight, a little bit early than I usually do. I am very tired, so I'm going to try and get a little extra sleep tonight. But I do want to thank you for stopping by, hanging out with me, listening to me ramble about the game and about nostalgia. I hope that there is something... I hope there's something that you take away from it. I would be very interested in hearing your thoughts. I'm actually going to go ahead and put this over onto YouTube. So if you would like to share your own thoughts about nostalgia, if you feel the same, if you get what I'm talking about and how the way this draws nostalgia in me, if you have your own reflections and thoughts about it, I would be very interested in hearing them. So please feel free to stop over there and share your thoughts in the comment section. In the meantime, I want to again thank you so much for stopping by tonight. I will be on tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. For some Among Us. I believe tomorrow night we will be playing with Proximity Chat again. So fun mayhem. Oh, hello. I hope I will see you tonight, or I hope that I will see you tomorrow night. I will probably be on Friday. I'm not sure yet. It kind of depends. I will not be streaming on Saturday. I storytell a LARP, so I will be doing that on Saturday night, and I may be doing some prep work on Friday night ahead of that. It just kind of depends on what my time is like the rest of this week. So, anyway, again, thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful evening. Please stay safe. Especially if you're around DC right now. Please stay safe. Bye.